here at South Texas Speedway. Night number 2, Memorial Day weekend. We are underway on a Saturday night in the city by the sea, and moving into turn number 1, Tyler Gilpin in the 21T machine. But here comes Chris Dudley on the outside. Looks like Vincent is slow. That's Kenneth Vincent in the 18, going to drop back several spots. We've already got side-by-side racing action into turn number 3. For a third spot, Brandon Skinner, Riley Heil. Give the spot to Skinner at the line. Out front, though, it's Chris Dudley in the 112 car. No, excuse me, it's Tyler Gilpin in the 21T. Dudley is second. Skinner in third. Riley Heil is fourth. And the 86 of Christopher Silvis rounds out the top 5. The field getting kind of spread out. Looks like the 46 of Harold Vincent going to make the hard right turn off the speedway. The fun leader pegs early in the heat race. Still Gilpin out front. Dudley a little bit slow through the middle of turn number 2. Really having to steer that 112 machine through the corners. Getting on the brakes a little bit that time to get things turned around. Looks like the 18 of Kenneth Vincent going to lead the speedway as well. So a tough heat race for Vincent Motorsports. Your leader by almost a straightaway, though. Tyler Gilpin in the 21T going to be coming to the halfway point this time by. 4 down, 4 to go. At the stripe, second spot still Dudley in the 112. Brandon Skinner right now sitting in second spot. Riley Heil is fourth. And the top 5 rounded out by Christopher Silvis in the 86. So your leader, Gilpin, is around in turn number 4. Gonna drop all the way to the back, first to worst in turn 4 for young Tyler Gilpin. A tough break and a hard racing lesson learned. We found the limit of the 21T machine. That's gonna set us up for an interesting battle for the lead. Chris Dudley out front now in the 112 car. Both of your top 2 cars have had a feature win so far this year as we come to 2 to go. The Proline Fabrication sponsored entry and Gilpin around again in turn number 4. Takes the scenic route through the infield, a little bit of a detour around the bottom of the racetrack. Brings it back out onto the racing surface as we come to 1 to go for Chris Dudley. Brandon Skinner in second spot, looks to the outside of turn number 1. Looks like it might work side by side through turn 2. Dudley slides up the racetrack. It's a drag race down the back chute for the final time in the turn number 3. Dudley on the bottom, Skinner up top. Skinner not going to try the crossover move. The win in the heat race going to go to Chris Dudley. Brandon Skinner will be seen and go. Limited late model heat race coming to the green flag. We're underway. RC sticking to the bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Not going to pay off. Hunter blows around him on the outside. Gary Hunter already about a 4-car length advantage going into turn number 3. Landon Farquhar, a couple of feature wins here so far this year, trying to get around Pete RC for that second position. Farquhar real snug through the transition. You can see the car wheels turn to the left. Car wants to go straight, and that is Fred Vanoy going around in turn number 2. We're going to stay clean and we'll stay green. Gary Hunter still your leader into turn number 1. About 2 car lengths between himself and Pete RC in the 9 machine. Landon Farquhar right there in third, trying to find his way around RC for that second spot. Farquhar to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Still, Gary Hunter out front, Pete RC in second, Landon Farquhar right there in third position. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to become the halfway there. Cross flags this time by. 4 down and 4 to go. Side by side for a second at the line. I think it goes to RC at the stripe, but it's not going to matter going into turn number 1. RC too far up the racetrack. Farquhar takes the position out of turn number 2 and closes the gap on the leader in a heartbeat. 5 down, 3 to go this time at the stripe. Gary Hunter is still your leader, but I'm not sure for how much longer. The 78 of Landon Farquhar on the charge towards the front. Farquhar looking to add another W in the column for 2017. Gary Hunter going to try to get under Fred Vanoy as we come to 2 to go. Vanoy lap car. And the 31 machine goes a lap down to turn number 1. Hunter gets around. Here comes Farquhar as well. Once again, tight on the bottom of the racetrack. Makes the move out of turn 2 down the back chute into turn 3. Gary Hunter going to be looking squarely at the white flag this time by. Farquhar still in second spot. Arcee now in the very, and Pete Arcee and Fred Vanoy get together. Arcee trying to get underneath at the very last second. Shows Vanoy the right rear. Meanwhile, out front, it's gonna be Gary Hunter with the win. Landon Farquhar in second. Pete Arcee will come across the line in third spot, and Fred Vanoy going to round number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of cool stuff going on here tonight. We're going to have the Veterans Band of Corpus Christi here with us in a few moments. Green flag is out. We're underway with Pure Stock Heat Race number 1. And it looks like Ramirez getting freight trained on the inside. They're going to lose 1, 2, maybe 2 spots. Here comes the Sturgeon on the inside. Ramirez drops back to 4th. Here comes Joshua Sewell. Trying to get around, come into turn number 3. Daniel Ware, meanwhile, going to lead lap number 1. Ramirez pushes wide, going to lose 2 more spots. He drops back to 6th. Daniel Ware leads lap number 1. John Wilson in second spot. Megan Lesturgeon is third. Josh Sewell there in the 4th spot. And Shiloh Flanagan Broadneck's rounding out the top 5 right now. Looking good along the bottom of the racetrack is the blue and white number 51 machine. John Wilson looking to the outside in turn number 1, trying the crossover move. Ware slides up, shuts the door. Wilson can't take advantage of the mistake. Still Daniel Ware out front. Wilson in second spot. Look at Megan Lesturgeon on the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3. Inside of Wilson trying to get around for that second spot. Not going to happen this time by. Lesturgeon still sticking to the bottom of the racetrack like glue through turns 1 and 2. But she's going to lose a spot this time. The back end steps out a little bit. Here comes Sewell around the outside for 3rd. Wilson smoking a little bit coming into the corner and smoking a little bit more through the transition of 3 and 4. Looks like it could possibly be Tyra, but I don't think so going down the front stretch. Still smoking down the backside. Sewell looks to the outside of Wilson for that second spot. Daniel Ware still out front. We're going to be coming to 2 to go this time by the flag stand. Kevin showing them the furled white and checkered flags. That's 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, for heat race number 1. And there's a shot in the shorts from Wilson. Daniel Ware gets a little bit of a love tap through turn number 2. John Wilson again with the smoke, and 3 and 4 as the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Still Ware out front. He's been, we got Ramirez around in turn number 3. John's going to stab the throttle, get it pointed back in the right direction, and we'll stay clean and stay green. Wilson once again smoking as the field comes to the checkered flag. It's going to be Ware with the win. Who's going to be in second? I'm giving it to John Wilson by a bumper. In the 60 as well, Sierra Smith to the outside of row 2. Daryl Prosek from Corpus Christi, the 151, and Sean Ward in the 889 car. Sean picking up the win last night here at South Texas Speedway, looking to double up this evening, making a 2-for-2 weekend. Out of turn number 4, looks like the Victoria, Texas driver, Johnny Westfall, going to lead lap number 1. Here comes the bulldozer, Jerry Walters in the second spot. Walters to the bottom of the racetrack. The car a bit snug on the exit at turn 2. Slides up about a lane. Here comes Jamie Deere in third now. The driver with the 15D looking to the inside. Walters all the way on the bottom of the racetrack. The car takes a weird hop off the bottom. Kind of drives itself towards the top. Jerry has to get on the brakes and steer it back down again. You see the 127 machine, a little bit of a looser setup there. That car really tail happy, and I think that's the way Jerry likes it. Backing it into turn number 3 like it's a sprint car down on the bottom of the racetrack. Trying to get underneath Johnny Westfall. There's a little bit of a love tap. Westfall gets a little squirrely, hangs on to it. No harm, no foul. depending on who you ask, I suppose. Walters again to the outside. Drives the car down the banking to the bottom of the racetrack, coming out of turn number 4 as we come to the halfway mark. 4 down, 4 to go for your leader, Johnny Westfall. Walters in second, Jamie Deere is third. Sean Ward, though, right there on the bumper in fourth. Ward now looking to the bottom of the racetrack out of turn number 2. Got a good run off the bottom, did Sean Ward. It's a drag race down the back chute into 3. And now Ward, that's about as close as you can get without touching. No room for the Holy Spirit between those guys. Ward takes the spot. Deere back to 4th. The black flag being shown for the 151 of Daryl Prosek. He's got some obvious left front suspension issues. Probably a broken ball joint, a control arm, something going wrong on the 151 cars. We come to 2 to go. Westfall still your leader. Walters trying everything he can to get around him. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Only about a half a car length between the two. Walters looks to the outside. You see the nose of the car take a dive coming in. Tap of the brakes. The car snug that time. White flags in the air, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more lap to go for Johnny Westfall. And 2 more shots for Jerry Walters to take the lead. Westfall makes a mistake. Walters is on the inside. It's a drag race down the back chute into turn 3. Sierra Smith around on the bottom of the racetrack. Walters right there side by side. Westfall led them all but the last one, and that's the one that counts. The win goes to Jerry Walters. Walters going to take it. Westfall will be second. 97. Ryan Carlucci from Corpus Christi inside of row 2 in the 34. Tommy Miller from Skidmore outside the second row. Jesse Sandoval, Daniel Preston, row number 3. And Mason Castaneda and Cody Earnhardt, row number 4. Green flag is out, and it looks like Aramandia going to lead us down the back chute for lap number 1 into turn number 3. All-in design, Ace Transmission, and Aramandia Motorsports leading the way right now in the 97 car. Here comes Miller around the outside of Horelka for second. We're about to be 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. And Carlucci now around the outside of Horelka in turn 3. Carlucci very sideways through turn 4. The car looks great, though. Not as fast as the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes young Mason Castaneda. Mason sitting in 5th spot right now in the 28M. Always one to watch in the Pure Stock division here at South Texas Speedway. Looks like Carlucci gets around Horelka into turn 3. Castaneda trying to follow suit. Not going to work out this time. Horelka making the bottom work. Carlucci gets around at the line, and Castaneda, trying to follow suit. Looks like Mason going to make the move out of turn number 2, way up against the wall down the backstretch into 3. Everybody now single file nose to tail. Horelka trying to take over the 4th spot back from Castaneda on the bottom of the racetrack. Not going to happen, coming out of 4. James Aramandia is still your leader. Tommy Miller in 2nd spot. Closing the gap slightly down the backstretch into turn number 3. Looks to the outside. Aramandia slides up the racetrack a little bit, takes the line away, hangs on to the lead for now. I believe that was 5 complete, 3 to go. Going to be coming to 2 to go this time at the line. And it looks like Sandoval's gotten around Horelka as well. Sandoval up to 5th, Horelka back to 6th. There's the 2 to go for your leader, James Aramandia. Tommy Miller out of Skidmore, Texas in the 2nd spot in the 54 machine. A good battle for 3rd. Castaneda on the bottom coming into turn number 3. Carlucci tries to shut the door, gives Mason just enough room, and Carlucci loses it in turn 4. Good job to everybody else to avoid contact. We're going to stay green. And that's going to liven things up front. Here comes Miller around the outside. Castaneda nearly in the wall that time in a turn 2. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. This one's for the win. Looks like Aramandia going to get it. Miller in 2nd. Castaneda will be 3rd. Sandoval 4th. And Daniel Preston going to round out the top 5. Unfortunate break for Ryan Carlucci. William Stevens going to be outside of row 2. Tony Blankenship, last night's feature winner, Michael Pesic. Sean Klein in the 11S. The 5 of Brad Hayes and the 33Z of James Zarbach. The rest of the field, the green flag is flown, and we've already got some contact. Douglas Lesturgeon sideways out of turn 4, going to hang on to it though. He'll lead lap number 1. Stevens is second. Last night's feature winner Michael Pesic in third spot. Lynn Fox in fourth. Sean Klein rounds out the top 5. Klein makes the move around Fox for fourth, nearly loses the race car coming out of turn 4. Hangs on to it though. Zarbach, unfortunately not going to be the case. Looks like James Zarbach going to park it at the bottom of turn number 4. No yellow just yet. No, James not on the racing surface. He's kind of out of the way, so we're going to let him get the 33Z rolling back again. He's got it underway. We got Tony Blankenship around at the bottom of turn number 1. Tony not off the racing surface. That probably, yes, it will give us a yellow. Tony Blankenship. By Lesturgeon leads him to it. We're back underway. And looks like Stevens going to look underneath out of turn number 2. Pesic looks to the outside. Don't think he's going to have enough time. Down the back chute into 3. Stevens now with the lead. I don't know that I'd call it a clean pass, but he's definitely out front. Gonna get the job done, but you can see the telltale folded up sheet metal on the right rear there. A little bit of contact. No harm, no foul. Not really a big deal. Still a Surgeon rolling around in second. Here comes Michael Pesic, though. You don't want to count the 22P out in any point in this class, and Sean Klein nearly loses it in turn number 4. Oh, we got Zarbach around again in turn 4. Looks like we're rolling this time. James going to get it turned around and pull it back out onto the speedway. 2 to go for your leader, William Stevens. Michael Pesic, has gotten around. We've got the 5 car of Brad Hayes around in turn 4 as well. Hayes gets it rolling. Zarbach going to come back out onto the racetrack. There's your leader, William Stevens, taking the 1 to go. Michael Pesic, though, right there behind him. Pesic goes all the way to the top of the racetrack in turn 1. The 22P is rolling. You see him tap the brakes to avoid contact with Stevens. We're coming to the checkered this time by, folks. Doesn't look like Pesic going to have enough to get her. Oh, nope, there's the checkered flag. Stevens going to take the win. Pesic in second spot. Lesturgeon is third. Sean Klein fourth, and Lynn Fox going to round out the top 5 in the 14 machine. 7 alongside the BD2 of Eddie Ross, Shane Heffling, Showtime in the inside of row number 4 in the 63, and Hector Aguirre in the 113 starting outside the 4th row. The green flag is flown, and Bart Wilcox going to lead the field through turns 1 and 2. Van Blarkham sitting in the second spot right now. Chuck Perry trying to pick up a win this year. 5 different winners on 5 race nights, and Hunter Flanagan takes a detour through the bottom of the racetrack in a backup car this evening after blowing a motor last night in the heat race. Nearly 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Look at Showtime. Shane Heffling on the bottom getting under the BD2 of Eddie Ross, taking over that 5th spot. And there goes Perry around in turn 4. Chuck Perry finishes the donut, sabs the throttle, gets it pointed in the right direction, and rejoins the field. Looks like Chuck might have had a little bit of help. Telltale damage again. I mean, the sheet metal doesn't get bit by the hand of God most of the time. It usually takes a race car to do that. Bart Wilcox still out front. Van Blarkham in second. Showtime. Shane Heffling is third. James Lee in fourth. And Eddie Ross rounds out the top 5. Hunter Flanagan, Hector Aguirre, and Chuck Perry round out the field. And Bart Wilcox looks like he's just got the setup down tonight. The racetrack's still a little bit heavy. Might be kind of greasy slick out there. I haven't been on the surface just yet, but it seems to be playing havoc with some of these guys. And as I say that, Wilcox very sideways through 3 and 4. Here comes Heffling on the bottom trying to get around Andy Van Blarkham to take over that second spot. Got a good 3-car battle for 4th on the racetrack right now. Eddie Ross with the position. Here comes Hunter Flanagan underneath James Lee for 5th About to come to 2 to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. There it is for Bart Wilcox. And Heffling makes the move out of 4 up to second spot. Van Blarkham back to third. Eddie Ross still in 4th spot. The battle now is for 5th. It's Hunter Flanagan on the bottom. James Lee up top. Going to be coming to the white flag this time by Bart Wilcox, still with the lead. Shane Heffling in 2nd spot. Andy Van Blarkham is 3rd. 4th spot belongs to Eddie Ross. The battle is for 5th for sure. Flanagan on the bottom of the racetrack. James Lee up top once again. Side by side in the turn 3, the checkered flag waves for Bart Wilcox. Shane Heffling takes the 2nd spot. Andy Van Blarkham is 3rd. Eddie Ross 4th. And James Lee going to round out the top 5. Right now, folks, Bruce Beto starting inside that front row. It looks like Bruce actually going to the back, so that's going to put Logan Shunka alongside Ray Shulman on the front row. Second row back, going to be Greg Carlucci alongside last night's feature winner Caleb Hudgens in the 10, Stephen Whitaker Jr. the 89C, David Shurey the 38, and that's Bruce Beto in the 15 and Max Helms in the 174. Shunka very tight around the outside here. Oh, and Stephen Whitaker Jr. runs over the nose of Caleb Hudgens. Wow, Whitaker takes a wild ride. Hudgens loses a spot. Shurey's up to 5th. Whitaker's in 4th. Shulman is your leader. Ray Shulman with 1 victory here so far this year in 2017. Logan Shunka in 2nd. 3rd spot is Greg Carlucci Jr. Stephen Whitaker Jr. right there in 4th. Stephen Whitaker, no wins here at South Texas Speedway. 5 attempts and a lot of seconds. Is hungry tonight. And that contact there with Caleb Hudgens just goes to prove how hungry that young man is. He's wanting a win in the worst way. And well on his way to a heat race right now. Gets around Greg Carlucci for 3rd. Whitaker now to the bottom of turn number 2. Trying to get around Logan Shunka for 2nd. They're side by side coming into 3. You see Whitaker on the binders trying to avoid contact. He'll make the pass. Take over that runner-up position as we cross halfway. 4 down, 4 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Whitaker this time tight through turn 2. Shunka right there, unable to capitalize on the mistake. Ray Shulman, winner on night 2 here at South Texas Speedway. Stephen Whitaker Jr. come up 2nd a lot of times, has blown an engine, lost a transmission. A lot of hard luck here at his home track in Corpus Christi. He wants to win tonight. Definitely wants that $1,000 prize money. Looks to the outside in turn number 3. Going to make the move around Ray Shulman. Maybe. Let's see. Coming out of 4. Yes, he does. Coming to 2 to go. Whitaker to the top spot. Ray Shulman in 2nd. Logan Shunka in 3rd. Greg Carlucci is 4th. And David Shurey rounds out the top 5. Going to be coming to the white flag this time by, ladies and gentlemen, 1 to go for Stephen Whitaker Jr. Opening up the taps on the 89C, about a straightaway advantage over 2nd spot. Ray Shulman coming down the back chute into 3 out of 4 for the final time. The checkered flag is in the air. Stephen Whitaker Jr. with the win. Shulman in 2nd. Carlucci is 3rd at the line. Shunka 4th. David Shurey rounds out the top 5. Then Caleb Hudgens, Max Helms Jr., and Bruce Wildman Brock Bowen on the inside from Fannin, Texas, and Jim Blevin to the outside of the 24. Green flag is out. We are underway. 3rd and final heat race for the limited modifieds, ladies and gentlemen, takes the green flag. We're already through turns 1 and 2. Side by side down the backstretch, it's Kevin Schilling and Tom Grothuse. Lawrence Maklachek trying to find his way around the top side, and Heil with a great save at the bottom of turn number 4. Your top 2 cars side by side, and it's kind of a bottleneck there behind everybody else now. Schilling gets around for the lead. Nearly loses it on the exit of turn number 2. Here comes Lawrence Maklachek. Around the outside, Maklachek with the lead coming off of 4. His son Marcus trying to follow suit. Threads the needle between Schilling and the outside retaining wall. One of those, if the radiator cap fits, the rest of the car will too moments there for Marcus Maklachek. That was a tight squeeze. I puckered. I'm sure he did too. And Schilling with a save there, an assist, if you will, from Heil there, just trying to straighten the 23 back out. John Heil in 3rd spot. Tom Grothuse, though, the driver from San Antonio, looking on the bottom of the racetrack. The 11T. Tom on the bottom of the racetrack, John way up top in the rough stuff if you were playing golf. And Dustin Butcher gets by for 4th. Here comes Brock Bowen for 5th. Butcher has to get on the brakes hard as Tom Grothew slides up the racetrack. Now Bowen and Butcher side by side down the back chute into 3. Here comes Heil, and Heil clips a tractor tire, going to put it out into the racing groove. We'll see what the officials have to say. 5 laps complete, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be coming to 2 to go this time by. There is a tractor tire kind of in the groove there on the racetrack. We'll see what happens. 2 to go for your leader, Lawrence Maklachek. Second spot, son Marcus in the 9M machine. The 11T of Tom Grothew is about to have his hands full with both Dustin Butcher and Brock Bowen. A good race down the back chute into 3. White flag in the air for Lawrence Maklachek. Bowen makes the move around Butcher for 4th. Butcher back to 5th. Lawrence Maklachek, final time down the backstretch into turn number 3. Riding right around where the cushion is. As his son Marcus, he'll take the win, does Lawrence. Marcus will be in 2nd. Brock Bowen gets around for 3rd. Butcher will take 4th. Grothews has to settle for 5th. Then it's John Heil, Kevin Schelling, and Jim Blevins going to round out the field. Ladies and gentlemen, that will bring to a close heat race action for the limited modifieds. Once again, these guys going for $1,000 to win tonight. AW. The 4-car on the inside going to be Dennis Cox alongside Eric Rahe, in the 5A machine. Green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of smoke already out of the 117 of Derek Gonzalez. And looks like Gilbert Perez going to lead lap number 1. Still a lot of smoke out of the rear end of the 117 machine. Black flag being shown. I do believe the black flag going to be waved to the 117 of Eric Gonzalez. A little bit dangerous condition there for the drivers behind him. And there goes Langford around in turn number 4. 117 of Gonzalez is going to pull to the infield, I believe. Got a flat right rear tire. Also, the excessive smoke out of the 117 machine. One of the reasons for the black flag. Meanwhile, back up front, it's the Gilbert Perez show. Brianna Weechie gets all kind of crossways coming out of 4. Here comes Eric Rahe around. Sam Chapa to the inside. Chapa going to make the move in turn number 1. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Crystal Smith now alongside for 4th. Coming to halfway, folks. 4 down, 4 to go for Gilbert Perez, the 3rd in the 36G machine. Eric Rahe still 2nd. Sam Chapa still 3rd. Crystal Smith still 4th. Brianna Weechie rounds out the top 5. Oh, there was a little bit of assistance there. Crystal Smith and Sam Chapa getting together. Chapa getting the short end of that stick. Driving through the infield there. Car looks to be okay. Still rolling around the racetrack here. Meanwhile, your leader, Gilbert Perez, going to be completing 6th this time by. There's the 2 to go. About a straightaway advantage over Eric Rahe in the 2nd spot. And Crystal Smith around in turn 4. Sam Chapa spins to avoid. Here comes your leader. And the yellow going to come out on the racetrack. Number 1. Gilbert Perez, the 3rd, going to lead them through turns 1 and 2. Eric Rahe there in the 2nd spot. Brianna Weechie hangs on to that 3rd position. The 4-car Dennis Cox coming all the way from the back to 4th as the white flag comes out. 1 more lap for Gilbert Perez. Rahe looking to the inside in turn 1, gets the door slammed in his face. Has to settle for that 2nd spot. Final time down the backstretch into turn number 3. A good run coming out of 4. Gives the win to Gilbert Perez. 2nd going to be Eric Rahe. 3rd will be Brianna Weechie. 4th, Jason Langford. Outside that front row, Travis Penny, James Lee, row number 2. Dwayne McWhorter and Mason Castaneda, row number 4. Zachary Calhoun and Roy Walker round out the field in row number 4. Last night's feature winner, James Lee, sitting in this one, looking to make it a double for the weekend. Looks to the inside of Dunker, down the back, shoot into 3. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Ricky Rogers in the 4W gets NASCAR'd all the way around the outside, loses 2 spots. Your new leader is Penny. Travis Penny in the 54. James Lee in the 2nd spot. Rogers hangs on to 3rd. It's a good battle for 4th. Give it to Calhoun coming into turn number 3. And now getting around Rogers as well. Rogers once again gets railroaded coming into turn number 4. Loses 3 more spots. Meanwhile, though, your leader is Travis Penny out front. James Lee trying to close the gap. Looks like the 21 of Bill Dunker going to leave the Speedway. It looks like the fun meter pegs early for Bill. He's going to leave the racing surface. Still Travis Penny out front. James Lee in 2nd spot. Zachary Calhoun there in 3rd, trying to close the gap, and that is the one of Mason Castaneda going around in turn number 3. Going to keep it clean and keep it green. Still moving. Oh, that's McWhorter. Excuse me, not Mason Castaneda. That was the 10 of Dwayne McWhorter. Taking the scenic route to the bottom of turn number 4. Meanwhile, your leader is still Travis Penny. James Lee, last night's feature winner. No luck so far in closing the gap. Zachary Calhoun in 2nd spot. Last night's runner-up, Mason Castaneda in the 1C. Roy Walker rounds out the top 5. Going to be coming to 2 to go this time by. White flag coming out for your leader, Travis Penny. James Lee still in 2nd spot. A good battle for 3rd. Castaneda in the 1C looks to the outside of Zachary Calhoun for that 3rd spot at turn number 2. Gonna be a drag race into turn 3. Castaneda with a great run around the outside into turn number 3. The win gonna go to Travis Penny. 2nd will be James Lee, and 3rd is gonna be Mason Castaneda. Zachary Calhoun gonna be 4th. Roy Walker gonna round out the top 5. Not gonna make the call for the feature. The green flag is out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're underway for the Bombers. And big contact with Chris Dudley there. Driving up over the left side of Kenneth Vincent. Don't know that was intentional. Dudley with nowhere to go, really. Vincent got sideways, and Skinner now inside that front row. The green's out. We're underway, but look at Silvas on the outside. Christopher Silvas gets a good jump off the top of the racetrack. Going to lead the field into turn number 1. Skinner still in 2nd spot. Heil now in 3rd. All the way to the top of the racetrack goes your leader, going to lose 2 spots. Christopher Silvas gets up there in that loose stuff, goes from 1st to 3rd in just one set of corners. Brandon Skinner, go from 2nd to 3rd. Skinner is your leader. Heil in 2nd spot. Silvas very tight. And going to lose it out of turn number 4. Cuts down across the racetrack. Good job to Wasik for not hitting him. Chris Dudley gets around, takes over that 3rd spot. Like I said, 2 feature winners previously this year out there on the racetrack right now. Brandon Skinner picking up a win, as has Chris Dudley. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. About a half straightaway advantage over Riley Heil. Heil in that 3rd spot there. Also a competitor at I-37 Speedway in Pleasanton. Good to have Riley out here with us tonight. Four laps now complete. Going to be 5 this time by for Brandon Skinner. pretty much laying the keys on the front desk and checking out on the rest of the field is the young man in the Miller Lite sponsored number 2 machine. The young driver out of Corpus Christi, Texas, sponsored by Bad Boys Tailgaters, Andrews Distributing, and High Tide Remodeling. Brandon Skinner still your leader. Been the Skinner show since the get-go. And down on the bottom of turn number 4, Dudley, very sideways, trying to make a move on Riley Heil for that second position. Dudley once again looking to the inside. Can't seal the deal coming out of turn number 2. Settles in single file down the backstretch in a 3. Nearly a straightaway advantage now for Brandon Skinner. Over that second spot. Heil still hanging onto the runner-up position. Dudley still third. Contact there looks like between Chris Dudley and Riley Heil. Dudley hangs on to it. Very sideways out of 4 though. Silvis able to close the gap quickly. Looking to the inside in turn number 1. Nine laps down, ladies and gentlemen. About to be 10 here at the stripe. Going 20 laps. This is halfway right here, folks. 20 laps. And there's halfway. Skinner pretty much in his own time zone right now. Almost a half a lap, really, ahead of everybody else. Second spot still belongs to Riley Heil. It's getting interesting now as Silvis gets around Dudley for third. Now, Silvis to the outside of Heil coming into turn number 3. Riley Heil on the bottom, Christopher Silvis up top. Side by side at a turn number 4, Silvis with the second spot. Oh, and Heil goes around in turn 2. Looks like we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to stay green, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Silvis, though, a distant second to your leader, Brandon Skinner. And Heil is around in turn 4. Trying to bring it back out onto the racing surface. Going to let the field go by. Riley going to bring it back out onto the racetrack. Get it pointed in the right direction. Well, once again, we stay green. Your leader still Brandon Skinner. Second spot, Christopher Silvis in the 86. Chris Dudley sitting in the third spot right now in the 112. John Owasik, fourth right now in the 50 machine. And rounding out the field in fifth, that is Riley Heil in the 30 car. That's 15 laps complete right there, ladies and gentlemen. 15 laps down and 5 to go. Brandon Skinner going to be coming to the white flag this time. Actually, it's 2 to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. 2 to go for Brandon Skinner. 18 laps in the books. Christopher Silva still in second spot. Third spot belongs to Chris Dudley. Fourth, John Wasik. Riley Heil rounding us out in fifth. Ladies and gentlemen, the white flag going to be coming out this time by Brandon Skinner. I'd say, barring catastrophe, pretty much his race to lose at this point. Into turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch for the final time into turn 3. Got all the room in the world to just kind of hang out. Checker flag going to be in the air this time by Brandon Skinner. We're going to take the win. Win number 2 on the season here at South Texas Speedway. Christopher Silva second. Chris Dudley will be third. John Wasik in fourth.
Statement. It was more like half a lap on the rest of them, man. The car looked great. Nobody had anything for you. How did it feel out there, brother?
It felt good. You know, that little 305 was doing his best to stay out in front, but got a bunch of people to thank High Tide Remodeling, Bad Boys Tailgater, Jesse, I know you're up there, Mom and Dad Green, Brandon for helping me, my wife, my little brother Justin, Sandoval Racing, and Continental Batteries there, and of course Miller Lite right there. At least you talked to me this time. Last time you didn't talk to me.
I wasn't here the last time you got a win, man. It's good to be here with you. I'm glad we get a good interview. You've got, so mathematically speaking, 40% of these races belong to you. That feels pretty good, right? 2 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah, it feels pretty good.
So 2 weeks from now, you're going to be out here again, right?
Yes, sir.
Parking it down here in Samesport Victory Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, Mr. Brandon Skinner. Lights are out. Going to be coming to the green this time at a turn 4. Pete Arce, Gary Hunter going to lead him to it. The green flag is out. The field goes down into turn number 1. Gary Hunter around the outside. Looks to take the early lead down the backstretch. Yes, he will. Pete Arce back to second. Landon Farquhar right there in that third spot. Landon got a couple of wins on the season so far this year at South Texas Speedway. Always looking to add numbers into that W column. Looking to the bottom of turn 2 right now. He'll make the move down the backstretch. No. Arce drags him down the back chute into 3. Farquhar has to show him a little bit of right rear to get around. Farquhar now to the second spot. Arce back to third. Got Bubba Ford around in turn number 3. Bubba going to get it pointed back in the right direction. We'll stay clean and we'll stay green. And Gary Hunter still your leader. Lyndon Farquhar in second spot. Arce is still third. Fred Vanoy sitting in that 4th position. Ford nearly losing it right there in front of the leaders. This is going to make things interesting as Farquhar goes around the outside. Landon Farquhar to the lead in turn number 1. Bubba Ford trying to stick to the bottom of the racetrack. Gary Hunter now gets around as well, and Hunter has to play catch up. Still, Farquhar down the back chute into turn number 3 out front. And Gary Hunter in that second spot. Pete Arce is third. Bubba Ford once again kind of squirrely through 3 and 4. And Fred Vanoy gets around, put him a lap down in 4th. Still Landon Farquhar out in front of this thing, ladies and gentlemen. No change behind him in the running order. Gary Hunter sitting in second spot. Pete Arce a little further back there in third. And Fred Vanoy in 4th, along with Bubba Ford there in 5th. There's 2 to go for your leader, Landon Farquhar. 12 down, 2 laps to go here in the limited late model feature. Down the back stretch into turn number 3. Gary Hunter trying to close the gap. Got it to about a car length as the white flag comes out. 2 more shots.
as Farquhar stretches it out again down the front stretch. Hunter pushes wide up the racetrack that time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd say that might do it. The speed superior down the straightaway, but races are won in the corners. And Hunter, a great exit, not going to be enough though. Farquhar with the win. Gary Hunter in second spot. Pete Arce is third. Fred Vanoy fourth, and Bubba Ford going to round him out in fifth. Daniel Ware and Jamie Deere going to bring him to the green flag. We're underway. 20 laps the distance. 23 Pure Stocks taking the green flag. And down into turn number one, looks like Daniel Ware going to lead him out of turn two. Jamie Deere settles into the second spot. James Aramandia had a great run going last night. He's there underneath Deere for the second position in turn number four. We're going to complete lap number one. We're two by a lot of them, in the words of my buddy Zach Clark. Still 2 and 3 wide, about halfway through the field. Johnny Westfall on the bottom of the racetrack, about 7th right now, trying to get around John Wilson there. We're 3 wide out of 4 with Megan Lesturgeon, John Wilson, and Johnny Westfall. Still 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Jerry Walters trying to get around. Here comes Sean Ward on the bottom of the racetrack, down the back chute into 3. Walters, Ward, and Castaneda 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of bump and grind between Sean Ward and Jerry Walters. Ward with sparks on the brakes on the rear of the car. Still makes the pass. The 73 machine of John Ramirez in the infield. Looks like his night is done. Your leader, meanwhile, already coming into lap traffic. The 8M is Joshua McCain. He's going to go a lap down. Daniel Ware, still your leader in the 51 machine. James Aramandia is now in second spot. Jamie Deere's back to third. Here comes Tommy Miller and Megan Lesturgeon. 4 and 5 on the racetrack right now. Miller on the bottom of the racetrack. Looking underneath Deere, trying to take over that third spot. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Tommy Miller and Jamie Deere battling for that podium position right now. 5 laps in the book's going to be 6 this time by Aramandia. Now underneath Ware. Ware going to hang on to it at the line. Aramandia once again looking to the inside in turns 1 and 2. The 97 machine on a rail tonight. James looking to take the dub for the first time here in 2017 on the inside once again. Not going to be enough. Daniel Ware still your leader at the line. Aramandia second. Jamie Deere in third, Tommy Miller fourth. Johnny Westfall's made his way up into the top 5. Joshua Sewell in sixth. Then it's Lesturgeon, Castaneda, Wilson, and Ward, your top 10. Sean Ward once again looking underneath Mason Castaneda. This time he gets around John Wilson for the 9th position, excuse me. Jamie Deere that time with a good run out of turn number 2. Looking around James Aramandia. Not going to happen in 3 and 4. Your leader is still Daniel Ware out of Refugio, Texas. Aramandia still in that second position. Jamie Deere right there in third. Bumper to bumper down the backstretch into turn number 3. Maybe a half a car length between the two now coming into the turn. Deere trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and make the move. Can't quite find his way around. Meanwhile, Johnny Westfall and Tommy Miller got a good battle going on for fourth. Westfall on the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Your leaders coming into lap traffic once again. That is the 88 of Alexis Hendricks. Alexis on the very bottom of the racetrack. Your leaders going a lane above. Ware going to make the move down the front chute into 1. Now Jamie Deere is underneath James Aramandia for second down the backstretch. Lap traffic going to come into play for sure. Deere gets held up behind Hendricks in the lap car. Aramandia hangs onto the second spot for now. Jamie Deere still there in third. Johnny Westfall is fourth. Tommy Miller fifth. And Mason Castaneda has made his way into the 6th position. Right now he's side by side with Joshua Sewell. The leader's going to have to go around the outside of Alexis Hendricks right now. She's got to be really, really nervous. With all these fast cars trying to come around her, she's holding her line very, very well. We've got John Wilson and Shiloh Broadnax tangling up down there in turn number 4. We stay clean and we stay green. Wilson gets the 39 machine pointed in the back, right in the right direction, and we stay green. Now Jamie Deere has made the move for second spot. Aramandia is back to third. Your leader is still Daniel Ware with 14 laps complete and 6 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be 5 to go right here at the line. Daniel Ware led this thing from the get-go. No caution so far. A good race in the Pure Stock Division, one of the premier divisions here at South Texas Speedway. Good battle going on right now for the 5th position. Give it to Mason Castaneda getting around Tommy Miller coming out of turn number 2. Miller back to 6th, and it's Sewell, Walters, Lesturgeon, and Ward, your top 10. Oh, Johnny Westfall that time taking the scenic route through the infield, going to lose a few spots. Dropping back to about 9th on the Speedway. Daniel Ware still your leader. About a half a straightaway advantage over Jamie Deere in second spot. Now here comes Castaneda, and Aramandia loses it. Sewell with nowhere to go. What a save by James Aramandia. We stay green, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we've got a car stopped in turn 2. Continue, and watch young Mason Castaneda up from 10th to 4th. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Actually, Mason Castaneda starting in the 12th position has picked up 8 spots on his march to the front. And Daniel Ware once again leads the field, already gapping him by about 4 car lengths into turn number 3. Aramandia goes high. Jamie Deere on the bottom. Mason Castaneda running right about through the middle of the racetrack. 17 laps in the books, 3 to go. Going to be 2 this time by. Here comes Castaneda on the bottom underneath Jamie Deere for that 3rd position. Castaneda drives it in deep into turn number 3. Side by side with Jamie Deere out of 4. Rubbing his racing, folks, and that's good stuff right there. And the 33 of Barry Major making an extra lap down there in turn number 4. We're going to stay clean and stay green, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Castaneda solidly into that 3rd position. James Aramandia is 2nd now. Daniel Ware coming to the white flag. 1 more lap to go. And we got a big pile up down here on the front stretch, ladies and gentlemen. That is John Wilson, Shiloh, Broadnax, Flanagan. 2 laps to go. Gonna be a green-white checkered finish for the Pure Stock Division here tonight at South Texas Speedway. Mason Castaneda underneath James Aramandia, not gonna make the move coming out of 2. Side by side now with Deere down the backstretch into 3. Oh, Aramandia and Ware get together. Mason Castaneda into the wall. Wow! That is gonna be a red flag for sure. Need everybody back to their seats, please. Please go back to your seats. Get back away from the fence. As soon as we get a word on all the drivers involved, we'll pass it along to you. Unfortunately, it looks like it took out a lot of the front runners. Looks like James Aramandia's machine going to move under its own power.
His front tires look at.
For what it's worth, the 97 of James Aramandia going to be charged with that caution. He'll start this thing from the rear. Jesse Sandoval round out the top 5. Green and white waving at the same time. This is the final shot right here. Tommy Miller leads the field through turns 1 and 2. Down the back chute for final time into turn number 3. Tommy Miller going to lead the field out of turn number 4 and take the win. Miller going to take the win. Second spot going to be Joshua Sewell. Third spot will be Sean Ward. Fourth will be Johnny Westfall and Jesse Sandoval. Climbing out of the race car, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. The 54, Tommy Miller. Down here at Sames Ford Victory Lane, Tommy, brother, first of all, good job, man. Just kind of hanging on to it and staying out there and avoiding all the mess, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, the racetrack looked good. The car seems to hold up pretty well. What'd you think about it?
Oh, it was great, man. I loved it tonight.
Out there door slamming with the best of them, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, sometimes things get a little out of hand, and we had a wad up down there. Glad you got out of it. Got a win out of this thing. I know a W is a W, right?
Yeah, it all count.
Tommy, anybody you want to thank on the race car?
Yeah, mainly Kirk Sr. sitting up in the stands up there. Yeah, this one's for you, Pop.
Well, Tommy, good job, brother. Absolutely enjoyed it tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time for Tommy Miller. And there's the green flag, ladies and gentlemen. We're underway with the street stock main event. Douglas Lesturgeon going to lead the field in the turns 1 and 2. Here comes Sean Klein, making it 3 wide. Going to take over the third spot from William Stevens down in the turn number 3. Lynn Fox on the bottom of the racetrack, looking like he's going to lead lap number 1. Absolutely. Lesturgeon in second. Klein is third. Pesic fourth. And Stevens rounds out the top 5. 3 wide once again through turns 1 and 2. Sean Klein on the bottom. Look at the dig out of the 11K machine. Picks up 2 spots down the back chute into 3. Lesturgeon battling back on the bottom out of 4. Not going to be enough. Klein leads lap number 2. Lynn Fox goes back around. Douglas Lesturgeon on the outside of turns 1 and 2. Making a move down the backstretch into turn number 3. Lesturgeon on the bottom of the racetrack. Taking back the second spot from Lynn Fox. Now Fox and Stevens are side by side. Stevens gets around for third. Michael Pesic now, last night's feature winner, looking to repeat here tonight. Looking on the bottom of the racetrack to take over the 4th position from Lynn Fox down the back chute into turn number 3. I'll tell you what, though, Sean Klein got the 11K machine lined out and is checking out on the field. Hector Aguirre taking that 112 machine back to the pit area, got the starting points and the position there. He will be credited with the 10th position. Still the Sean Klein show out front, about a half straightaway over Douglas Lesturgeon in second spot. Third spot is William Stevens. Fourth belongs to Michael Pesic, and rounding out the top 5, that is Lynn Fox. Pesic underneath Stevens now. Into turn number 3, Lynn Fox loops it in turn number 4. Lynn refires the 14 machine, gets it pointed back in the right direction, and we stay green. Michael Pesic now into that 3rd position after Lynn Fox's spin there. Trying to close up to Douglas Lesturgeon. Take over that 2nd spot and then ultimately the lead. Lesturgeon closing the gap coming into turn number 3. Only about 2 car lengths between himself and Sean Klein. Really closing the gap on the exit. Only about a car length now. Lesturgeon to the bottom of turn number 1. Not going to be enough. The car is pretty much nose to tail down the backstretch as we cross the halfway mark. 8 down and 8 to go. Still Sean Klein out front. The gap much smaller now, though. Lesturgeon closing there in second. Pesic is making a charge from third as well. The top 3 cars have separated themselves from the 4th spot car, William Stevens, by about a straightaway. Michael Pesic seems to have found something on the bottom of the racetrack in the 22P. Gets a good run down the back chute into 3. Once again, slow in, picking up the throttle quickly on the way out. Really getting the power down. He takes over the 2nd spot out of 4. Lesturgeon back to 3rd. Oh, they get together. Lesturgeon gets the short end of that stick. Trying to get the right front wheel underneath Michael Pesic. Not going to work out. Lesturgeon back into that 3rd position. Could have cut a tire, and we got a car around in turn number 1. my goodness. .com. The Street Stock feature got 5 laps left in it. We're going to be going green this time out of 4. There it is. We're back underway. And Klein leads the field back into turn number 1. Oh, we've got Tony Blankenship up into the wall. Blankenship hard in the wall. Going to bring out another yellow. Green flag is back out, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Klein leads him back down into turn number 1. Michael Pesic in hot pursuit in the 22P. And here comes William Stevens underneath Douglas Lesturgeon, side by side in the turn number 3 for third. Pesic now underneath your leader. And Klein with the lead at the stripe. We've got the 14 of Lynn Fogg stopped in the top of turn number 4. Yellow flag going to come out, ladies and gentlemen. Lights are out. Green flag coming back out this time by Sean Klein. Leads him back down into turn number 1. Sean Klein still your leader. William Stevens now side by side with Michael Pesic for second. Side by side through turns 1 and 2 as well. Down the back chute into turn number 3. Going to be coming to 2 to go this time by. 2 more laps to go for the 11K of Sean Klein. Michael Pesic charging hard in the 22P, but I don't know that he's going to have enough time as Klein still opening up the gap down the back chute into turn number 3. White flag going to be in the air this time by, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Klein with 1 lap to go around South Texas Speedway. Michael Pesic and William Stevens got a good battle going on for second, but it doesn't really matter because way out front, Mr. Sean Klein through turn 4 for the final time. A face full of checkered flag. Sean Klein with the win. Pesic in second spot. Stevens is third. Lesturgeon fourth. And the 5 car, Brad Hay.
Woo! Woo!
Come on out, brother. Climbing out of the race car. Great job. Excellent job, brother.
Thank you.
You look tired. Were you manhandling the thing? The car looked like it was on a rail, man. It didn't look like you had to fight it that much.
It felt good, but I knew he was coming.
Oh, yeah. Michael, once we got around those other cars, definitely. This fellow was on his way. Had his crosshairs right there on you, man.
Yes, sir. And at one lap, we come out side by side, coming out of 4. That's what racing's about.
Absolutely. Side by side, just kind of balls to the wall, man. As fast as they'll go. When you pulled it off tonight, brother, I know you're very happy about it. Who do you want to think on the race car?
Maynard Automotive, D&D Novelties, the whole family, the crew, Mickey's Automotive, everybody. The fans, thank y'all for coming out, and you're welcome to all the kids that got pictures tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise for Sean Klein. Come here, Michael.
That was some badass racing, bro.
I tell you what, man. I know it's not a 2 doves on the weekend, but a 1 and a 2 ain't that bad, right?
Yeah. I kind of figured this morning when we worked on it was going to be whoever came out of 4 first.
Well, it looked like y'all both had a great time out there. The fans sure enjoyed it. Am I right, folks? Did you enjoy that race right there? Congratulations, brother. Good weekend all around, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank y'all for coming.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the number 71 machine tonight. It's Bart Wilcox. And alongside Bart, right here is the Apollo Towing Service number 2R, driven tonight by Mr. Ray Shulman. Good luck, Ray. Starting inside row number 2 from Victoria, Texas, driving the 07 tonight, Mr. Logan Shunka. Good luck, Logan. Outside of row number 2 from Orange Grove, Texas, driving the number 37 tonight, it's Mr. Andy Van Blarka. Fan club, brother. Inside row number 3 South Texas Speedway 2 weeks ago tonight. Looking to pick up a big one tonight, $1,000 on the line. Give it up for Lawrence Maklachek in the 87 machine. Good luck, Lawrence. Starting outside, row number 3 from Corpus Christi, Texas. Driving the number PD3, it's Greg Carlucci Jr. Inside, row number 4. Driving PD2 from Corpus Christi, Texas, Mr. Eddie Ross. Alongside Eddie, in the 90K machine from Robstown, Texas, Mr. Dustin Butcher. Good luck, Dustin. 25. Inside, row number 5. Driving number 9M from Corpus Christi, Texas, Marcus Maklachek. Outside of row number 5 from Myersville, Texas, it's showtime, Shane Heffling. Good luck, Shane. Thank you. Thank you. We've talked about this a lot. This guy right here, driving number 89T from Corpus Christi, Texas. A lot of second place finishes this year. Looking for the dub for Stephen Whitaker Jr. Outside row number 6 from Fannin, Texas. Picked up the win on night number 1 here at South Texas Speedway. Make some noise for the wild man, Brock Bowen. Good luck, Brock. Good, good. Okay. Well, a foot race? I'm gonna foot it. He's gonna foot power it tonight, driving the 563. Make some noise for Mr. James Lee. He's really not running on his feet. His race car's out here. He's fixing to go get in it. Alongside James, outside of row number 7 from Corpus Christi, Texas, driving the number 38 tonight, Mr. David Shurey.
Thank you. Get him, David.
Inside, row number 8 from San Antonio, Texas, driving the 11T, Mr. Tom Grothhughes. Outside of row number 8, driving number 57 tonight, got a win on the season here at South Texas Speedway in this very car, Mr. 58 Cent himself, Hunter Flanagan.
We need more fans.
And last night's feature winner, starting inside row number 9 from Corpus Christi, Texas, looking to double up this weekend, Mr. Caleb Hudgens. Outside of Caleb, driving number 96 tonight, make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for John Heil.
Good luck, John.
Row number 10, starting in 19th position. Driver number 113 machine, the same sport sponsor entry, is Hector Aguirre.
Good luck, Hector. Thanks, fellas. Go get him, baby.
Here's James's car. Outside of Hector, where you at, Max? Right here. We're not in the right car, but that's okay. That's all right. Starting outside of Hector, driving the 174 machine tonight. Make some noise from Victoria, Texas. It's Max Helms Jr. Starting inside, row number 11, 21st position, the number 23 machine of Kevin Schelling.
Good luck, Kevin.
Starting outside of Kevin in the 115 machine from Corpus Christi, Texas. Give it up for Mr. Chuck Perry. Final row back, ladies and gentlemen, row number 12 on the inside, driving the number 15 machine tonight. Make some noise for Mr. Bruce Netto.
Good luck, Papa Squirrel.
Papa Squirrel. He said, call me Papa Squirrel. And starting outside of row number 12, driving the number 24 machine tonight, folks, give it up for Mr. Jim Blevins. Ladies and gentlemen,
The green flag. Ray has a win under his belt so far in 2017 at South Texas Speedway. The green flag is out. We are underway. And just like that, Shulman and Wilcox get together in turn number 1. Logan Shunka gets by on the bottom of the racetrack. He leads the field into turn number 3. Here comes Lawrence Maklachek underneath. We've got cars piling up in turn number 3. Green flag's back out. We're back underway. Wilcox and Shulman again making contact down into turn number 1. Here comes Logan Shunka on the inside. Lawrence Maklachek there as well. We're 3 wide between Stephen Whitaker Jr., Eddie Ross, that's Greg Carlucci, and Shane Heffling. Ray Shulman now bunching it up right in front of Shane Heffling. Your leader is still Bart Wilcox. Logan Shunka in the second spot. Lawrence Maklachek is third. Here comes Shunka on the inside. Thinks a little bit better of it. Tucks back in the line. Lawrence Maklachek got a good car, field of cars right behind him. Ray Shulman, Shane Heffling, Stephen Whitaker Jr. and Dustin Butcher. 2 by 2 through turns 1 and 2. Maklachek to the inside of Shunka now for second. Bart Wilcox, still your leader. Lawrence Maklachek on the inside has the second position, going for the lead into turn number 1. Maklachek down the bottom of the racetrack slides Wilcox out of his preferred line. Lawrence Maklachek with the lead down the backstretch into 3. Getting around, Bart Wilcox takes the lead. Logan Shunka now under fire from Stephen Whitaker Jr. That's the battle for third. Shane Heffling, Showtime. Right there in the 5th spot. Dustin Butcher is 6th. Shulman 7th. Then it's Flanagan, Van Blarkham, and Greg Carlucci Jr., your top 10. Stephen Whitaker Jr.'s gotten around Logan Shunka for third. Now sets his sights on Bart Wilcox. Wilcox in the second position. Whitaker dives down underneath to take the second spot out. Turn number 2. Stephen Whitaker Jr. in the second position. 6 laps complete this time by Lawrence Maklachek is your leader. About a straightaway advantage over Stephen Whitaker Jr. Whitaker now trying to run down the wily old veteran in the 87 machine. Old dog still got bite. Lawrence Maklachek, your feature winner 2 weeks ago right here at South Texas Speedway. Could be the first repeat winner tonight. Stephen Whitaker, winless here at South Texas Speedway in 2017. Looking to change that tonight. Closing the gap coming into turn number 3. With a race this length, you've got to be worried about tire wear. Both Lawrence and Stephen know that that's going to be a factor here tonight. Maklachek been doing this for a long time. Whitaker as well. Might be a young man, but still been racing for many, many years. Definitely knows his way around this racetrack just as good as anybody. Your leader is going to be coming into lap traffic here in just a few moments with the 24 of Jim Blevins. The first to go lap down. We've got 2 cars around in turn number 3. That's Bruce Beto. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Lawrence Maklachek leads the field down to turn number 1. Stephen Whitaker Jr. giving hot pursuit right there in turn 2. Maklachek pulling the gap about a half a car length down the backstretch into turn 3. Whitaker looking to the inside on a 4, can't quite get it done. Maklachek, another big pile up in turn number 4. Ray Shulman is involved. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Lawrence Maklachek once again leading the field into turn number 1. Stephen Whitaker Jr. in second spot. Showtime. Shane Heffling up to third. Dustin Butcher's 4th. And Bart Wilcox rounds out the top 5. Maklachek still your leader with 10 down, 15 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Whitaker Jr. right there on the rear bumper coming out of turn number 2. Looking for a way around. You've got to think Lawrence knows he's back there. Whitaker down to the outside. Trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack on the exit of turn number 4. Not going to make it happen. About a car length between your leader and second spot. Right there up, you can see the little bit of bumper tag going on in turn 2. We've got Logan Shunka and Caleb Hudgens. Down through the infield. Hudgens going to bring it back to a stop, it looks like, in the infield. And another shot with shorts from Stephen Whitaker Jr. Definite bumper tag being played by your top two cars. Whitaker once again looking to the outside, hungry for a win here in 2017. Lawrence runs him up the racetrack for sure. Whitaker once again to the outside, and a door slam from Lawrence Maklachek. Yellow back out on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Shulman coming to at South Texas Speedway. Stephen Whitaker Jr., Shane Heffling, Dustin Butcher, and Eddie Ross round out the top five. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. And Whitaker immediately to the high side gets a great run in our turn two. It's side by side. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Into three. Whitaker to the lead. Maklachek battling back on the bottom of the racetrack. Maklachek with the lead of the stripe, making Whitaker run the outside. Stephen Whitaker Jr. just as fast as he can, getting around the outside, makes the pass down the backstretch. We've got Kevin Schelling around in turn two. In the BD2, Eddie Ross rounds out the top five. Green flag is out. We are back underway. Once again, Whitaker to the top side around the outside of Lawrence Maklachek. Maklachek sliding up the racetrack, making that 87 as wide as possible. Whitaker drives it in hard into turn number three. Once again around the outside, not going to be enough this time. Lawrence Maklachek with the lead of the stripe, 15 down, 10 to go. Maklachek now sliding up a lane off the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take away that line from Stephen Whitaker Jr. Whitaker making it work around the top side, because Lawrence is making him do it right now. Maklachek still with the lead. 11 down. 16 down and 9 to go. Whitaker trying desperately to get down to the bottom of the racetrack, get a wheel under. Maklachek misses the mark. Here comes Whitaker on the bottom to the lead. Stephen Whitaker out front, leads lap number 17. Lawrence Maklachek pushed wide in turn number three. Whitaker right there to capitalize and make the move. Stephen Whitaker Jr. gonna lead lap number 18. 2 to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. We've shortened the race to 20. Stephen Whitaker Jr. Insular leader going to be coming to the white flag this time in a turn number 4. Lawrence Maklachek in second spot now. Shane Heffling is third. Dustin Butcher fourth. Eddie Ross rounds out the top five. One more time around Corpus Christi, South Texas Speedway. Stephen Whitaker Jr. almost a half straightaway advantage coming into the third turn for the final time. Checkered flag is in the air. A face full of checkered flag for Stephen Whitaker Jr. Our sixth different winner in 6 racing events for the limited modifieds here at South Texas Speedway. He's out of the race car, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Stephen Whitaker Jr. There was only one way to go, brother. One more spot to the top. You got it done tonight. A lot of runner-ups as the kiddos climb atop of the thing. Jungle gym and all, you know. A lot of runner-ups throughout the 2017 season here. What's it feel like to get the first W? It was a hard-fought win, by the way. You and Lawrence put on a great show. A little bit of bumping and rubbing, lots of nice little contact there. But it was a heck of a race, man. How's it feel out here to finally get the win? $1,000 tonight, by the way, right in front of your hometown crowd. What's it like?
Feels great. I had a heck of a time racing with Lawrence there. I bumped him a couple of times, and he'll call me Monday and very nicely tell me he didn't like it. But it's been fun. Even though I've had 4 seconds in a row, I've had a blast this year with the new starting procedure. You get to race with people that you don't normally race with. We haven't torn up very much. It's just been a good year. Racing the track was pretty good tonight. The car was really good. I just tried extra hard because of the extra money tonight, so I was going to fight for it a little bit.
So the first dub of the season has nothing to do with it here at the racetrack, right? It's all about the money, absolutely.
It's always about the money.
Strictly down here, I'll tell you what, talk about the race a little bit. It was doing really well. You were having to run the top because Lawrence had the bottom. And I know a couple of times he saw you come around the outside because I could see the car move up a lane. What do you do? As experienced as you are, Lawrence has been doing this longer than you and I have been alive. What do you do to get around somebody who's got more laps than probably everybody else out here put together?
I mean, it kind of goes both ways. You're right. Lawrence has more laps than our age combined, or more years than our age combined. I mean, it's just fun racing with someone like that because they know exactly what you know about the racetrack. They have a million laps just like you do. Their car is fast just like yours is. It's just fun racing with somebody that can respect and give you room, and you can't ask for a better guy to race with. The car was excellent. I had a new set of shocks from Chris Brown on it out of Houston, and man, it was excellent. Of course, the beautiful performance graphics wrap, and Diaz Construction, G&M Oilfield. Special thanks to the Jennings. I'm on a borrowed motor from Gary and JJ Jennings. PTS power runs pretty damn good.
I'd say so. JJ, this thing is pretty broken in thanks to you this night out here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna return any of their phone calls and maybe change my address. Maybe they won't be able to find me and get their motor back.
Just get to hang on to it. Steve, anybody else you want to thank on the race car, brother?
Jan and David Sherry, my mom and dad, Church's Chicken, John and Connie Trask, BC Restaurants, Performance Graphics, Shoes Racing Chassis, Nasty Cookers, my aunt and uncle, entire family, friends in the stands, these hoodlums on my car, make it fun week in and week out.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time here in Saints Ford Victory Lane, the first time in 2017. Make some noise for Stephen Whitaker Jr. Number 6, Crystal Smith's in the 17. The 10 E's, Dwayne McWhorter. Row number 7 has Sam Chapa and Ricky Rogers. Row number 8 is Derek Gonzalez and Bill Dunker. And Michael Courtney all by himself in row number 9. The green flag is out and we are underway. Gilbert Perez leads the field to the first set of corners, down the back chute into turn number 3. On the bottom of the racetrack, gets the car to rotate nicely on the exit. He'll lead lap number 1. Travis Pitty in second spot, James Lee in third, looking to double up. He's the only one so far this weekend to do so. Lee looking to the outside of Penny in turn number 3. Not going to be able to make the move out of turn number 4. Still going to be Travis Penny in second spot. James Lee's third. Mason Castaneda right there in the 4th position. We've got the Z76 of Michael Courtney around the bottom of turn number 3. Looks like Michael going to get the thing pointed back in the right direction. We stay clean and we stay green. Your leader still the 36G of Gilbert Perez III. Second spot right now with the 54. Travis Penny looks like the 4W of Ricky Rogers. Gonna leave the racetrack. The Robstown Racer pegs the fun meter early tonight. Gilbert Perez still out front. Travis Penny in second. Third spot is still James Lee. And then it's Mason Castaneda right there behind him in 4th. A good battle for 5th spot right now. The 9W of Roy Walker leaving the Speedway. Good battle for 5th. Make that 6th on the racetrack between Eric Rahi and Zach Calhoun. They're both right there behind Brianna Weechie. Calhoun gets around the outside. Here comes Rahi back up the inside. On turn number 4, still side by side. That's for 6th spot on the racetrack. Give it to Calhoun this time by. Back up front, Gilbert Perez III still leads it. Travis Penny, though, has closed the gap to about a car length. Perez driving the thing in hard into turn number 1. Trying to get it to rotate up off the bottom. The 88W of Jason Langford calls it a night early. A little bit of a push coming into turn number 3 for Gilbert. He hangs on to it. Got a car around, that's Dwayne McWhorter. In turn number 1, caution flag going to come out on the Speedway. Green flag about to come out this time in turn 4. Gilbert Perez III going to lead us to it. James Lee, the 563, looks to the outside of Travis Penny to take over the 2nd spot in turn number 2. Remember, James has the chance to be the only repeat winner on the weekend. Going to be looking to the inside of Gilbert Perez out of turn 4. Not going to be enough. We've got 2 cars around in turn number 3.
Looks like they're both going to get moving again. Michael Courtney in the Z76 gets it pointed back in the right direction. It will stay green. Good battle right now for fourth with Mason Castaneda and Zachary Calhoun. Castaneda on the inside right now has to, there's some contact with Calhoun. Calhoun goes around in two. Going to be a single file restart this time, folks. The lights are out. We're going green this time out of turn number 4. Perez leads us back to the green flag. 11 laps complete, 9 laps to go. Down into turn number 3, James Lee looking to get to the inside of the racetrack. Nearly loses the car. Good save by the driver of the 563. Looks like Michael Courtney around in 3 again. Going to get it back running. Going to bring the Z76 machine to a stop in the infield, looks like. Still Gilbert Perez out front. James Lee there, right there behind him though. Dives it down to the bottom in turn number 3, trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. And Zach Calhoun goes around in turn 4. No contact is made. Looks like everybody's going to get around. We're going to stay green. James Lee now has closed the gap to next to nothing. Here comes Penny as well. It's a good 3-car battle for the lead between Gilbert Perez, Travis Penny, and James Lee. Lee down to the bottom once again, trying to get underneath Perez and make the move going into turn 3. Can't quite get it done. 16 laps complete that time by. 4 laps to go, folks. Down the backstretch into turn 3 once again. And it looks like Travis Penny and James Lee get together that time. Penny is around in turn 4. Gets the 54 machine back running. Tough break for the young man. The 54 machine running in a 3rd spot. Slight contact with James Lee. Nothing that can be done about that as we come to 2 to go for Gilbert Perez. The white flag going to be in the air this time by James Lee with 2 more shots to become the weekend's only repeat winner. Looking underneath Gilbert Perez on a turn number 2, not going to be enough. One last shot into turn number 3. Perez off the bottom a little bit this time. Gilbert going to hang on to it and take the win. James Lee going to be in 2nd spot. Crystal Smith will be 3rd. Gonzalez 4th. Mason Castaneda going to round us out in 5th. He's out of the race car, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Gilbert, I want a hug. Good job, brother. Let's get the helmet off, man.
Oh, goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to get the helmet off. He can hear you real good now. Make some noise for Gilbert Perez, the third brother. You earned that one, man. Absolutely. James was right there behind you the whole time. I know you. You had to know he was there.
I could hear him. I was sticking that car to the bottom the best I could.
Absolutely, man. Coming into 3, the car looked good. I could see James had a good run down the backstretch a couple of times. He was right there closing the gap. But coming into 3, you really looked solid on this end of the racetrack. Was it better down there than it was coming into 1?
Yeah, it was.
This looked real good out here, man. I know you had a great time. It was a hard-fought, hard-earned win. You led pretty much the whole way to go there, Bubba. Absolutely outstanding job. Who do you want to thank on this thing?
I want to thank my parents. So first of all, thank Lawrence Melkachek and their family, and Randy and Kelsey. And I don't know.
How's it feel, man?
It feels